For over 12 years as a pensions and investments specialist, I've witnessed firsthand the troubling gap in financial preparedness across our region. In Uganda and throughout East Africa, there exists a dangerous misconception that retirement planning is exclusively for the wealthy elite or those fortunate enough to hold formal sector jobs. This flawed thinking leaves millions, from market vendors and boda riders to mid-level corporate employees, facing an uncertain future without any meaningful safety net. The reality we must confront is that traditional Western retirement models often fail to address our unique economic circumstances, cultural contexts, and informal employment structures. However, the solution isn't found in complex financial instruments or unattainable savings targets, but rather in implementing small, consistent financial behaviors tailored to our East African reality. The looming retirement crisis in our region. The statistics paint a worrying picture. In Uganda, less than 15% of the population has any form of pension coverage, with the vast majority relying on increasingly strained family support systems, precarious informal savings arrangements, or simply hoping for the best. This pattern repeats across East Africa, where limited financial literacy, distrust in formal institutions, and a survival-focused mindset create significant barriers to long-term planning. The consequences of this neglect are already visible: elderly citizens who worked tirelessly for decades now struggling to meet basic needs, adult children burdened with unexpected caretaking responsibilities, and entire families slipping back into poverty during what should be their golden years. Without immediate action, this crisis will only deepen as our population ages and traditional family support systems weaken under economic pressures. The transformative power of micro-habits in wealth creation. True financial security isn't built through windfalls or extreme austerity, but through the quiet power of compounding, where small, disciplined actions repeated consistently create exponential growth over time. In our East African context, this approach is particularly powerful because it works within our realities: irregular incomes, cash-based economies, and strong community networks. The journey begins with shifting fundamental mindsets and adopting practical behaviors that align with our cultural and economic landscape. From passive consumption to active value creation. The wealthiest individuals in our region understand a fundamental truth: sustainable prosperity comes from creating value, not just consuming it. While many spend hours scrolling through social media or watching television, financially savvy Ugandans and East Africans dedicate even small pockets of time to value-adding activities. This might mean spending 15 minutes daily researching profitable agricultural value chains, studying rental property markets in emerging neighborhoods, or learning about SACCO investment opportunities. Uganda's rapidly evolving economy, from its soon-to-be burgeoning oil sector to its dynamic tech startup scene, offers countless opportunities for those willing to shift from passive consumption to active creation. The key is starting small, but starting now, with whatever time and resources you currently have available. The profound impact of your financial circle. Our Swahili proverb, "Ukiona vyalea, vimiundwa," mean if you see things floating, they've been arranged, reminds us that success doesn't happen by accident. Your financial mindset and outcomes are profoundly shaped by the 5 people you interact with most frequently. If your current circle dismisses savings as impossible, mocks investment attempts, or believes wealth is only for the connected few, their limiting beliefs will inevitably hold you back. The solution isn't necessarily cutting people off, but deliberately expanding your network to include those with a growth mindset. Seek out SACCO groups where members discuss asset building strategies, connect with mentors who've navigated similar financial journeys, or even curate your media consumption to include East African success stories and financial education content. In our communal societies, we have a unique advantage. The collective wisdom of groups can accelerate individual financial growth when harnessed intentionally. Automating savings, the silent wealth builder. One of the most persistent challenges in our cash-based economies is the temptation to spend what's physically present. The revolutionary concept of paying yourself first becomes even more powerful when automated. Start by setting up automatic transfers, even if just 10,000 Ugandan shillings daily, into a separate mobile money savings account or low-risk unit trust. This simple habit removes the mental burden of constant decision-making and ensures consistent progress. Over time, these small daily contributions grow into substantial sums, much like the steady flow of the Nile gradually shapes the landscape. The psychological benefit is equally important. Watching your future fund grow daily reinforces positive financial behaviors and builds momentum for bigger steps. Strategic diversification, the East African way. Our region's most successful farmers understand diversification not as a complex financial strategy, but as basic survival wisdom. They plant multiple crop varieties knowing that if one fails, others will sustain the family. This same principle applies to building financial resilience. In our volatile economies, relying on a single income source is dangerously precarious. The solution lies in creating multiple streams, combining formal employment with side hustles like agribusiness or e-commerce, while gradually acquiring appreciating assets like strategically located land or government securities. The beauty of this approach is its scalability. You might start with a small poultry project while still employed, then reinvest profits into other ventures over time. Financial education rooted in our reality. Much of the available financial advice fails to resonate because it's designed for different economic contexts. We need learning that speaks to our realities: how Ugandan landlords structure their rental agreements, how Kenyan women's chamas multiply small contributions into life-changing sums, how Tanzanian farmers use warehouse receipts to access better prices. Dedicate at least one focused hour each week to financial education that matters here. This might involve attending SACCO financial literacy workshops, following local investment podcasts, or studying case studies of East African entrepreneurs who've built sustainable wealth. Positioning for East Africa's growth wave. Our region stands on the brink of transformative economic expansion, from Uganda's emerging oil and gas sector to Rwanda's thriving innovation hubs, Kenya's renewable energy revolution to Tanzania's infrastructure boom. These aren't just news headlines, but real wealth creation opportunities for those positioned to benefit. The time to prepare is now. Whether by acquiring relevant technical skills, building networks in these industries, or making strategic investments in supporting sectors. History shows that those who recognize and prepare for these macroeconomic shifts early reap the greatest rewards. So what is your personal roadmap to financial security? Begin with a 30-day financial awareness challenge. For the next month, track every shilling spent with ruthless honesty. Categorize expenses into 3 buckets. Essentials, which are basic survival needs. Empowerment, which are education, skills, and investments. And enjoyment, which are non-essential lifestyle spending. Most Ugandans are shocked to discover how much leaks through small, unexamined daily expenses. This awareness alone often reveals surprising opportunities to redirect funds toward more meaningful goals. Join or form a savings group. There's profound wisdom in our traditional savings circles. Modernize this approach by joining established SACCOs like Wazalendo, if you are in the armed forces, Kyamahanga for those from the western parts of Uganda, or Masibu in Kenya, where structured systems provide both savings discipline and investment opportunities. If existing options don't fit your needs, gather 5 like-minded friends to start a disciplined savings pool, setting clear rules for contributions, withdrawals, and investment strategies. Secure your future self today. Even with irregular income, everyone can start a retirement fund. ICEA Unit Trust, Uganda's NSSF Voluntary Scheme, Rwanda Ehohiza Program, or Kenya's Mbao Pension Plan allow flexible contributions. Begin with whatever you can, 50,000 Ugandan shillings monthly or even smaller weekly amounts. The magic isn't in the initial amount but in the habit formation. Over 20 years, even modest consistent contributions grow into meaningful sums through compound interest. Become a financial empowerment ambassador. True wealth multiplies when shared. Commit to sharing this knowledge with 3 people in your circle, perhaps a younger sibling, a market neighbor, or a work colleague. When we elevate our communities financially, we create more stable societies and better business environments for everyone. Consider organizing informal financial literacy sessions in your neighborhood or workplace, using everyday examples that resonate with people's realities. The 1% weekly progress principle. Financial transformation seems overwhelming when viewed as one giant leap, but becomes achievable through tiny, consistent steps. Commit to improving your financial health by just 1% each week, perhaps by negotiating better prices from suppliers, reading one financial article, or increasing your daily savings by 1,000 Ugandan shillings. These micro-improvements compound dramatically over time, quietly positioning you ahead of the vast majority who wait for the right time to begin. Your prosperous retirement isn't a distant dream, it's being built today through every small, intentional choice. For more East Africa, focused wealth strategies that work in our real context, subscribe and join this movement toward financial empowerment. What's the first micro-habit you'll implement this week? Share your commitment below to inspire others in our community. Retirement wealth secrets. Small habits that create big futures.